here. Okay, Jenny, go ahead.
Yeah, I will indeed watch my language when talking to Frank. And Dr. Drew, I have to say I agree with you 100%. My biggest issue with you, Frank, is that you seem to inflame rather than go to a place of healing. I understand you want to defend your friend, but your manner and your delivery and often your word choice is somewhat suspect to someone like me.
Hey,
hold on a minute.
Judge me. You're not my judge. You don't judge me.
I am listening to
You're not going to make this forum to judge me. You speak, I speak. Let's go forward. Be nice in the sandbox. The doctor just said it.
Okay. I think I am playing nice in the sandbox.
I think you are too. And I think you made your point that his attitude. Well, we're not judging. She's just expressing a fact, which is that you have a way about you that inflames people. Okay, Miss Ali, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, what I was going to say is that at this point, the prosecution and defense seem like they're on the same team. But the point is that one of the rules of the NRA is that when a person has a license permit to carry, that night when Zimmerman called 911 and when he was talking to them, he was talking to the police. Well, the rule is that when you have a permit to carry and you talk to the police, you are first supposed to identify yourself as having a permit and tell them that you are armed. And had Zimmerman told them he was armed, that would have been over at 180 seconds. 3 minutes, the police would have been there. Now, that's proof. Wait a minute, that's proof that he had ill intent, because he didn't tell the police that he had a gun on him.
Michael, is that true?
You didn't have
He gave his address. He gave his address. He gave
Frank
his
says
phone
no.
number.
Michael, you say yes.
to the police.
Oh, we lost Michael, I think.
He's certainly not to the police. And the first time he encounters someone, he doesn't tell them he's part of the neighborhood watch. But I do want to say something, Dr. Drew, that's important, because Crystal has brought up numerous times that what are we doing about black-on-black violence? I would certainly invite my friend Crystal Wright to walk with me in the south side of Chicago with the Cure Violence Program, or in southeast Jamaica, Queens, with I Love My Life, or Brownsville, Brooklyn, with Man Up, or Los Angeles, or Homeboy Industries. My boss, Russell Simmons, and I have funded and supported so many programs, nonviolent programs around this country to address black-on-black violence.
Great.
So we can do both. We can address black-on-black violence. We can also address profiling of young black men.
Okay, got it. Crystal, what makes this even more confusing? Hang on, Crystal. This isn't white on black violence. This is brown. You know what I mean? It's less clear than that, isn't it? This is race issue.
What bothers me about
it very complicated.
Right. So, well, it's not complicated. What bothers me, and you know, I've said the media doesn't seem to care when if George Zimmerman was black and he killed Trayvon Martin, none of us would be sitting here talking about this trial. That's what troubles me.
Correct.
But back to the case, I think that there's a lot of reasonable doubt, clouds flying all. Excuse me, I would like to be able to finish one thought tonight, because everybody else has gotten to finish their thought. There's so much reasonable doubt flying over this case that I think George Zimmerman was wrong to get out of his car and pursue. I said this last week. A neighborhood watch watches and calls the police. I think Trayvon Martin then got agitated. Trayvon went toward George Zimmerman, confronted him, and sadly, we have a young man dead and another man who's going to be found not guilty.
That has been proven.
And I don't think, as far as Frank goes, Frank is no more controversial. Miss Ali is far more controversial than Frank.
Who's more controversial? Miss Ali is more controversial?
Miss Ali is, and I really resent all this kind of characterization of Frank that he's the bad guy and Miss Ali is somehow good.
Okay.
She's just as inflammatory as Frank. Frank is actually, he's not a bad guy. Frank, you're not a bad guy. You're
Michael, you go ahead, and then Frank can take a
Frank is a bad guy.
Yes, Crystal, you know what? You're 100%
You wouldn't be talking about this, Michael. You wouldn't be talking about this.
You'd be arrested that night, and you know it.
Okay.
Yeah, because you'd be arrested in 24 hours, and you know it.
Run out of time, guys. We'll get the clock. Frank, take us home. I want to thank you for being here. Finish it up.
Hey, man, let's keep it real here. It was all about probable cause. There was no probable cause based on Mr. Wolfinger's assessment. Remember, the facts and the evidence and also the testimony of the witnesses led that he wasn't going to be arrested. That's it. You know, suck on that, man. That's all there is to it.
Frank, that's what Jenny was talking about, by the way, my friend. That's exactly what you were talking about. Michael, Crystal, I want to thank you personally for being here, keeping your cool, and putting up with some difficult language and interaction. I really want to thank you. And Frank, of course, thank you for coming. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Crystal brought up a really interesting point here. She was talking about the way, the complexities of this case. I'm bringing the Behavior Bureau in, and we are going to talk about something not as complicated as you think. It's called the fundamental attribution error. We're going to look at hoodies, people wearing them, how we respond to them, interpret people's constitutional makeup based on their behavior and their dress. And later, Bill Lloyd, he's performed hundreds of autopsies. What does he think about Dr. Bao's controversial testimony today? There he is. And then, of course, Dr. Knight will be here to talk about it.